writers get writer's block. People have to take a little bit of break or something. Is that, you find that as well?
Absolutely, especially when it comes to, because I do this so much, like with all the girls, I try and make sure that each girl has their own look. Something that makes it so that you don't have to take a second glance. You know that's Madison, you know that's Gail. I really, really like that. That's something that really sets us apart in that everybody's look is so different. So when someone new comes along, it is very, very hard to come up with a fresh idea, and especially if they try and talk to me when I'm in the middle of working for something for someone, I'll have to sometimes say, can we talk tomorrow? My brain is just full. I need to stop, recharge, and not be thinking about anything else to try and get some fresh ideas sometimes.
When you're watching it on TV, do you also notice the lighting, and does that play a part too when they come out and what lighting's being used and the backdrop?
Absolutely. At the very beginning, I had a few instances where I had some great ideas, some great color combinations, and they looked great on my table. They looked great when the guys put them on. But when they got in the ring, behind all the lights, it looked washed out. And so I've had some issues where I've had to explain to some of the guys, hey, I know that you think that sounds good, and it does sound good, but it won't come across right on TV. So things definitely do look different with all the lights and the pyro and the functionality of it.
And that's something really, I mean, you can't learn that. That's just you got to go as it goes.
Yes, that's definitely been trial and error.
You went to school in New York, correct? Or no?
I went to elementary school in New York.
Okay, so when you were younger, you went to New York,
yeah.
but college was here.
College was in Tampa, yes.
And, well, now you're the head of the wardrobe department.
Yes.
We say your official title and all. If someone came to you and said, hey, how could I do something like that? I mean, this is not something you can go to a school and just train to do something like that, is it?
No, it's a lot of, I mean, you definitely do need a foundation in fashion and pattern making and draping and drafting, all that stuff. So you would need to go to college for the basics, but it's just a whole lot of practice. It's a whole lot of playing with materials. I had a mannequin. I would just make stuff that never saw the light of day, but just to get a feel for everything.
And this week, Gail Kim and Robert Irvine's wedding is going to be on the Food Network.
It's going to be on the Food Network Saturday at 10.
And because you had the background in wedding gowns, and also you're friends with Gail Kim, that was one of the first ones. So Gail comes to you and says?
Actually, Gail came to me and said, we want you to be part of the wedding, we want you to be there, we want you to be there with us, it would mean a lot. And so we were just having a social conversation, and she's stressing out about her mother's dress because she hadn't ordered it until she didn't realize that it was a special order, just like everything else, and took forever. So she was worried about the fact that there wasn't going to be time for a fitting and all this stuff to be done to her mother's dress. She was getting the dress right before the wedding. And I had to remind her, Gail, I started in weddings. I can help you. She's like, no, but. I'm like, I will put a sewing machine in my carry-on and I will sew it the day before the wedding. I'll take care of your mother's dress. So in the midst of the social activities, I was altering her mother's dress for a few hours.
2 for 1. That's
yes. So
you also helped Gail with her dress a little bit, the design. I mean, looking at it, helping her with her dress.
Gail took care of her dress all by herself. It was a big. She was very private about it, but she had a point where she was having some doubts. I mean, come on, the dress is more of a commitment than the marriage sometimes. That's what they say. I hear that on the that wedding show.
Now, what is it, Bridezilla's? Oh, there's so many out there, for God's sakes.
The one where they go to Kleinfeld's.
Say yes to the dress.
Is that what it is?
Say yes to the dress,
Thank
yes.
you.
Say yes to the dress all the time. They make a big deal about what a big commitment the dress is. So she had picked it out by herself and nobody else had seen it, so she was a little bit hesitant. So I went with her. She asked me if I would do her the favor. Like, I wasn't honored. I was totally honored to go with her. And look at the dress, and when she tried it on, there were a few little things that were off, just minor things that I knew exactly how to tweak, just little things like the flowers didn't lay right. They just needed to be opened and sewn down. So it was great for me not to have to do that, but to be able to say, hey, this is what needs to be done. And when we went back and she tried it on again, it was such a dream. It was the most beautiful dress. It really worked on her. She made a great choice.
And we'll get to see you in the show.
I was at the wedding. I had an absolute blast. It was an absolute honor to be there and a lot of fun. It really was.
Have you met Robert Irvine prior to that?
I had met. Yes, part of the fun of Gail living near me and being a friend and a customer is when big strapping Robert comes with her to her appointments. One of my scariest moments is when he looked at the mannequin, her brand new outfit on the mannequin. He takes a glance at it, he's like, that's not gonna work. It won't fit Gail quite like that, but it did actually. He was right, it required a modification or two.
Oh, so Robert not only a food expert here, but also a little bit of fashion.
Absolutely.
Jack of all trades.
Definitely. He knows what he likes, and so I protect his interests when I make an outfit for Gail. I keep him in the back of my mind as well.
Has Robert, and last question, has Robert ever cooked for you?
Robert has not yet cooked for me. I may have to collect on that.
All right, Jolene, thank you so much for taking time with us and telling us what you do. It's such a unique and interesting job and story, so thank you.